Sharratt again with another top tip for EFT practitioners. And in this video, I want to talk about the first session with a new client. Now, if you get a client coming along who's perhaps never done therapy, never used EFT, isn't at all familiar even with the concept that what goes on in our head, in our mind, can actually be felt in the body, perhaps is very new to all of this work. Don't expect in your first session, perhaps even your second, third and fourth session with them, to start diving into big events. In the first session, you might feel like nothing happens. So I highly recommend tapping on yourself if that feels frustrating. A lot of EFT practitioners are very impatient. They want a result. Why do you want that? Why do you need a quick result? Is it because you want to feel that the client's getting value for money? Or do you want to validate your own skills and expertise? Tune into why that is that you're in a bit of a rush. And I recommend doing some EFT around that. In your first session, don't worry if it really feels not much happens. You're starting to resource the client. Maybe you're doing some breathing or grounding techniques with them. You're teaching them the basics of EFT. You might give them a video or a diagram so that they can do a bit of tapping between times. Really recommended to perhaps give them an audio with a script based on their thing. So you could record that in the session. People can record it on their phone. If you're working online, you can record it on Zoom or whatever application you're using and then send it to them. Most people don't tap between sessions because they don't know what to say. So give them the words, give them their own bespoke script. And get over the need to be urgent. Also remember, not everybody shifts in the immediate time, especially if this is all quite new to them. So sometimes people start with an issue that's a 7 or an 8, and you do quite a lot of tapping, and maybe you're seeing some signs of releasing, maybe you're not. And at the end they say, no, still feels about the same. Don't panic. It doesn't mean that they're not going to get a shift within the next 24, 48 hours. And in my experience, sometimes the people that seem to have the least shift during the session actually have the greatest shift between sessions. So sometimes there's a delayed reaction, especially if someone's spent quite a lot of time in what we might call functional freeze. So they're almost a bit numb, a bit frozen, but they're kind of getting on with day-to-day life. They're just not really feeling emotions. And there will often be a delay for them in actually making connections, feeling emotions, etc. So just be patient. Work at the slowest part of the client's nervous system. So if the client is going slow, that's okay. Go slowly. You will also, on the other hand, get clients that want to rush through things. And in those cases, it's a really good idea to slow them down, because they often want to rush so that they can tell you something without feeling it. And of course, what we want them to do is to feel it, don't we? So go slow. Don't worry if it feels like you haven't done much. I often make the analogy with my trainees. Imagine a really old door that's been neglected for years and all the paint's peeling off. The longer you spend sanding it down, getting back to the bare wood, maybe undercoating it, the better and longer the new paint will last. So spend time on those foundations, on getting that door prepared for painting, and you won't regret it. It will give you a much better outcome than if you try and rush through sessions, because it's like you're putting a coat of gloss paint on a door that's got peeling paint, so it just won't last so well. I hope that's helpful for you today. Remember, slow down. Work on yourself if that feels challenging for you. I'll see you again very soon in another top tip video.